Good evening and welcome to Millennium Stage. And now, please give a warm welcome to the Bohemian Caverns Jazz Orchestra.
Thank you very much. The return of the Bohemian Caverns Jazz Orchestra. For those of you that know us, you know we've been out of work for a couple of months. And for those of you that don't know us, we've been out of work for a couple of months. For 6 years, this band played at Bohemian Caverns until its closing in March. And since then, we've done a handful of gigs, or recording session, actually. And so it's great to be in front of a live audience again. It's great to be back at the Millennium stage. Last time we were here was 2012. And it's great to have some charter members back in the band tonight that you'll hear from later. That first piece was Just Friends, and it featured our trombone section. You're listening to charter member Steve, the Nature Boy Shaw, Scott Ninmer, Shannon Gunn, and Chris Buckley. I was telling the band this is the only time in 6 years I've gotten the program absolutely correct. So all those names match the faces up here. We're going to continue with a piece composed and arranged by Lee Pilzer, who's playing first tenor tonight. She's played every chair in the book, and she is one of our staff arrangers. This is called Are You Satisfied? MVP of this band, Miss Lee Pilzer on tenor saxophone, and arrangement and composition. You heard again from our charter member, Steve Shaw, on trombone, and a one-time member of this band, Mr. Tim Whalen, on piano. Before I forget, Tim has a fantastic CD available at the back, the music of Bud Powell. It's called Oblivion. Features a lot of the great DC-based musicians, so I highly recommend you check out this recording before you leave. We're going to feature one of the first people I called when I started this band 6 years ago, and he left. He was the first person to really leave the band to take a job back in our home of North Carolina. But Charles Phaneuf has come up from Raleigh to play this gig with us, and we're very glad and happy to have him back. So a big round of applause for Charles Phaneuf. We're going to feature him on this classic, When You're Smiling. Charles Faniff. Charles Faniff on tenor saxophone. You heard a little bit from Chris Monson on bass back there. We don't only do the classics, although we do a lot of them, but we also have pieces that are written for members of the band or sections of the band. And we'd like to feature a Bobby Munsey arrangement, one of our good friends and colleagues. He wrote this arrangement for our trumpet player, Bags Davis. This is Clifford Brown's Tiny Capers, and it's going to feature the entire trumpet section.
Thank you.
Our trumpet section, Bags Davis, Leo Maxey, Griffith Kazmerzak, and Brent Madsen. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better trumpet section than that. And we've been lucky to have great drummers in this band since the beginning, and the latest and maybe the greatest, Kevin McDonald back there on drums. Kevin is fortunate enough to be sponsored by Remo Drumheads, Zildjian Cymbals, and Vic Firth Sticks. So if we ever lose him, he'll be easily picked up by someone else. But we're not going to let him go. We're going to continue now with a piece by our other pianist who's not here tonight. We just completed an album of 17 of his arrangements. His name's Dan Roberts. And we're going to feature our guitarist, Josh Walker, on this Billie Holiday, Herbie Nichols composition called Lady Sings the Blues. to go back to the library of Lee Pilzer and play a standard that she arranged to feature two tenor players. But one of our last performances, we were hosting the Washington Women in Jazz Festival, created by Amy K. Borman. And we had two guest soloists, Caroline Davis and Alexa Tarantino, and they were both alto players. So I made the friendly suggestion, what if they played it? So Lee reworked the arrangement, version 5.0, something like that. And we're going to feature Marty Now and Jason Hammers on this next piece. This is Lee Pilzer's arrangement of Broadway.
One, two,
like to hear more of Lee Pilser's writing, she has an album coming out very soon, recorded at Alley World in Tacoma Park, her quintet live, and that should be out very, very soon. So in September, that's very soon. So please check her out online to hear more of her writing and playing. Marty has CDs too. We're going to play a piece of music that's maybe been performed once and recorded in 2 takes. This is the last piece Dan Roberts wrote for us, and he wrote it. He was singing the lyrics, or he was whistling the melody to Josh one night at the Caverns, and I said, well, I know the lyrics to that. I had learned it from going to Barry Harris's workshop, and he said, well, I'll arrange it for you to play on baritone saxophone. So this is a beautiful ballad called I'll Never Stop Loving You. And this may be the only memorable performance of it. I don't think anybody was there the first time we played it. Thank you. The Sammy Kahn 9-bar phrases, am I right? That will be on our upcoming album, Bohemiana, which features 17 of Dan's arrangements and even a play-along play-along recording to Gallop's Gallop. Not really. Oh, we're going to do another Dan Roberts piece. I thought he was going to be here tonight, but vacation, I think. This is a piece he realized from a Brad Meldau piano solo performance, and he created a whole big band arrangement out of it. It's kind of one of the weirder songs that we have in the book. This is called Trailer Park Ghost. Tim Whalen on piano, and Griffith Kazmierzak on trumpet. We have one more for you, but I'd like to introduce the entire band because they're all going to improvise on this next one. The MVP of the saxophone section, she's played every book, she's written tons of tunes, we love her dearly, and she might as well be a charter member. She replaced Charles when he abandoned us back in 2011. Charles. Lee Pilzer. Only the second person to hold the second alto chair, Mr. Jason Hammers. Our current lead alto saxophonist, maybe the second one to hold that chair as well, Marty Now. Back from Raleigh, North Carolina, the most spontaneous, the most missed, Mr. Charles Faniff, tenor saxophone. Charter member Steve, the Nature Boy Shaw. We found him in Bohemian Caverns when we started the band. There on the end. Steve, raise your hand. Filling in for Ben Ford almost all the time, Mr. Scott Ninmer, a composer and arranger in his own right. Leader of the all-female big band, Shannon Gunn and the Bullets. She has CDs for sale. Ms. Shannon Gunn. I think our first real bass trombonist that we had in the band, Chris Buckley. Filling in for a charter member and co-director Joe Herrera, Mr. Brent Madsen on trumpet. Griffith Kazmierzak on trumpet. Leo Maxey on trumpet. The most famous member of our band. He played on Charles Mingus's last two big band albums. He was in Jerry Mulligan's Grammy Award-winning big band. He played with Larry Elgart. What'd you say? Deep pockets, short arms, or something like that? Ooh, that's on the internet now. Mr. Bags Davis! One-time member of the band, he went on to lead his own projects, but he's back with us tonight. Mr. Tim Whalen. You can catch him at Twins later on this evening with the great Caroline Davis and Marquise Hill. Mr. Chris Monson on bass. And on Vic Firth sticks, Zildjian cymbals, and Remo drumheads, the most sponsored, our favorite drummer, Mr. Kevin McDonald. My name is Brad Lindy. This is a baritone saxophone. Oh, Josh. We do have a guitar player in the band. Our favorite guitarist, and I mean that sincerely. Just the best. And he and I are going to be doing an Ornette Coleman, Pat Metheny thing very soon on September 24th at the Atlas. Mr. Josh Walker on guitar. As I was saying, my name's Brad Lindy. I founder and co-director of this band. And if you'd like to see this band again, we're going to be at the Atlas on December 4th doing our holiday program, a Bohemian Christmas. We'll do all of Duke Ellington's Nutcracker, and we'll do a bunch of new stuff, and we'll do a John Zorn type telling of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It's going to be great. So put that in your Palm Pilots right now. We're going to close with a Birth of the Cool classic. It's the 90th year of Miles Davis, and the week before this band started, I had the pleasure of leading a big band at Blues Alley with the great Lee Konitz, and he gave me all these big band charts on the Birth of the Cool. So we'd like to close out our sets with a round robin where everybody gets to improvise. So we're going to close with Move, but please visit us online at BohemianCavernsJazzOrchestra.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, BohoCavJazzOrg. And please talk to all these musicians. They're doing amazing things for the music and for the city and for humanity. So thank you very much to the Kennedy Center and the Millennium Stage, and we will see you next time. The Bohemian Caverns Jazz Orchestra. It's great to be back, even if it's for 1 hour. Thank you very much. We'll see you in December. We'll see you online, and we'll see you after the show.